Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chilling story. Now let's dive into story number 1, the doll buried beneath the agave. I wasn't planning to share this, but after seeing your video on haunted dolls, I felt like I had to. What happened to my family isn't just a story, it's something we lived through, something we're still recovering from. This took place in Durango, in a small ranch just outside the town of Nombre de Dios. My grandmother owned a piece of land where she grew agave and raised goats. It was quiet, remote, the kind of place where secrets get buried and no one ever digs them up. Until one day my younger cousin Mateo did exactly that. We were visiting during the summer of 2009. Mateo was 10, curious and always digging holes looking for buried treasure. One afternoon, he ran into the house covered in dust, clutching something wrapped in old, rotten fabric. We all gathered around as he slowly unwrapped it. It was a doll, but not the kind you'd buy from a store. This one looked handmade. It had a porcelain face, cracked on one side with faded blue glass eyes, one of which was slightly off-center. Its body was stitched with what looked like burlap, and its arms were made of dried sticks. There were remnants of red thread around its neck like a necklace or a noose. My abuela went pale. She didn't even say a word, just crossed herself and told Mateo to leave it outside. When we asked her what it was, she said, "That's not a toy. It's a seal." That night, the house changed. I don't know how else to describe it. It got cold, like a sudden draft was running through the walls. The dogs wouldn't stop barking. At dinner, every light flickered 3 times before going out completely. When they came back, Mateo was gone. We found him standing in the agave field holding the doll again, even though we were sure we left it outside under a rock. He was talking to it, but his voice didn't sound like his own. It was deeper, slower. When we asked him what he was saying, he replied, "She says it's not over. She says they never finished what they started." That's when my grandmother told us the truth. Decades ago, before she bought the land, a local healer had cursed a doll as part of a ritual to trap a spirit. The doll was buried in the field, bound with red thread and sealed with blood. "It was supposed to stay in the earth," she whispered. "Now it's awake." Over the next few days, things got worse. Doors slammed on their own. We heard scratching inside the walls. At night, we'd hear footsteps pacing back and forth in the hallway, stopping right outside Mateo's door. He said the doll kept whispering to him. When we asked what it said, he only answered, "She wants her revenge." My grandmother decided we had to return the doll to where it came from. She gathered us all at dusk and brought us to the same spot where Mateo had unearthed it. But the soil wouldn't take it. Every time we tried to dig, the earth would fill itself in. The wind howled like something angry, almost screaming. That night, Mateo vanished again. This time, we found him hours later, curled up in the barn, cradling the doll like it was a baby. When we tried to take it from him, he screamed so violently that he collapsed and passed out. My grandmother made the decision. She called in Don Basilio, an old spiritual man from the nearby village who knew of the curse. He came with candles, herbs, and a small black rooster. I won't go into the details of the ritual. It felt wrong just witnessing it. But by sunrise, the doll had been sealed again, and this time buried deeper, with protections around it. Mateo never remembered any of it. But for years, he'd wake up crying, saying things like, "The lady in blue eyes is under the ground, but she's still looking up." To this day, no one goes near that patch of land in my grandmother's agave field. The plants there don't grow right. The soil stays dark and damp, even in the dry season. Sometimes the dogs still bark at nothing, facing that direction. If you ever come to Durango and someone offers you a handmade doll with glass eyes, don't take it. Some dolls weren't made to be held. They were made to hold something else. Don't miss out. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more spine-tingling content. Now on to the next story. The doll from Tepito. I live in Tláhuac, but 3 years ago, I used to work near Tepito. Yeah, that Tepito. It's the kind of place people avoid unless they know someone, and even then, you have to be careful. I worked at a phone repair stall inside one of those massive tianguis. Fast cash, shady clients, and all kinds of weirdos. One afternoon, an old woman set up a small table a few stalls down. She was selling used toys and random junk. Most people ignored her, but something caught my eye. This handmade rag doll, maybe a foot tall, wearing a red dress with little black buttons for eyes. It wasn't fancy, but it looked too new to be with the rest of the trash she was selling. I asked her how much. She looked up, smiled with almost no teeth, and said, "Para ti, joven, lo que quieras darme. Pero cuídala. Ella no olvida." I gave her 50 pesos. She nodded, wrapped it in newspaper, and said again, "Ella no olvida." At the time, I thought she was just being dramatic. I brought the doll home, threw it on my dresser, and didn't think twice. That night, I had the first nightmare. I was walking through the Tepito Tianguis at night. All the stalls closed and only one was lit. Hers. The old woman was there, but her face was stitched like a doll's, and she was whispering in some language I didn't understand. The doll was in her lap, and its eyes weren't buttons anymore. They were mine. I woke up drenched in sweat. That was only the beginning. Over the next few days, weird things started happening. My alarm wouldn't go off. My phone glitched out constantly. I'd hear whispering in the apartment when I was alone. But what freaked me out the most? The doll kept changing positions. First it was on the dresser, then on the kitchen counter. One time I found it sitting on my pillow facing the door. I live alone. I thought I was going crazy. My cousin came over one night to hang out and noticed it right away. "Donde compraste esa cosa? Looks like something a brujo would use." He picked it up, laughed, and insulted her. He tossed it onto the couch like it was trash. That same night, he got into a car crash. He didn't die, but he broke 2 ribs and a leg. He swore a dog had run into the road, but the report said there were no skid marks, like he never even braked. I tried getting rid of the doll after that. First, I left it in the trash outside. The next morning, it was back inside, wet, like it had rained on it, even though it hadn't. Then I tried burning it. It wouldn't catch fire. The fabric turned black but didn't burn. A friend told me to bring it to a curandera in Iztapalapa. She took one look and went pale. "This isn't just cursed," she said. "This was made with a promise. It holds resentment. Someone fed it hatred. When you took it, you became responsible." She asked me if I'd insulted it. I hadn't, but my cousin had. I begged her to take it. She refused. She told me the bond was with me now, that I had to treat it with respect, or it would find ways to punish me. So now, 3 years later, I still have it. I keep it on a shelf, untouched. I never speak badly of it. I light a candle for it once a month. I even greet it when I get home. People think I'm insane. But ever since I started treating it like it's alive, the nightmares stopped. The glitches stopped. The whispering stopped. Sometimes late at night, I still see it move just a little, like it adjusts itself to look at me better. And once, just once, I swear I heard it say gracias. Take this as a warning. If you're ever in Tepito and someone offers you something special, walk away. Or if you take it, never disrespect it. Because some dolls remember, and some don't forgive. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying true tales every single week. And make sure you tap the notification bell so you'll know exactly when the next story creeps into the dark. You never know what might be hiding in the next upload.